I just realized I recorded an entire deck profile, and I was talking to myself the entire time. It wasn't actually recording. Because I'm too stupid to not notice the fact that the little numbers that I on the side that tells me I'm recording was green and not orange. I apparently am blind as hell. Anyway, what's going to buy Yu-Gi-Oh! 5 and 4 here, and I'm here with my Rockstone deck profile. Now, this Rockstone, in my opinion, is if I'm playing Stun, I'm playing Rockstone. It's my favorite type of Stun deck out there, just because I tend to call the Ask Permission deck due to the fact that your opponent literally at times has to raise their hand like they're in school and they have to take a piss. As the teacher, can I take a piss? And it's more like you're the teacher, and instead of taking the piss, they ask you, can you play Yu-Gi-Oh? And you say, sit down, little Johnny. You cannot. Now go sit in the corner and be a good boy while I basically prevent you from doing anything. Now, is Roxanne a perfect stun deck? Not really. It can be overcome if you play very smart. Or if you're on dev or G-Funk and hate your guts, but to each his own. Now, there's one card in here that really does make the deck a hell of a lot better and a hell of a lot more consistent, which I'll go over that in a second when we get to the card. You can probably see it on here right now. But it's definitely my favorite of the stun deck, so let's go and get started. So first up, 3 Overload, 3 Guardian, 3 Sandman, 3 Wall, 2 Faustino, 1 Granbull, and then 1 Block Golem. Now, for each of the Guardian and each of the Quad Community's effects, there are pretty much Doom Caliber based effects that are optional, so you can't force them out. Your opponent can choose when to negate whenever they want to. Now, they can still force them in terms of putting them in a situation where they have to negate, but it's not like Doom Caliber 9 to where they can just throw up a random effect that you don't give a shit about and get them off the field. Now, for each of them, I'll go over them briefly. This one negates monster summons that do not store a chain, negates monster effects, negates traps, and negates spells. That was easy. Anyway, all the cards are pretty self-explanatory. Block Golem as a 1-up because I was playing 2 at one point in time, but I feel like 2 is clocking and I just dropped down to 1. It was working out a lot better. But pretty much if the only monsters in your graveyard are Earth Rock monsters, or no, Earth monsters, my bad, you can draw 2 lower Rock type monsters in the graveyard except for himself, and special summon it, but they cannot activate effects on the field during that time, so they will not get their effects at that time. So choose wisely. But of course, at the end, during your opponent's turn, you'll get their effects and you'll be able to go back to negating everything you want. So it's a nice way to kind of revive your Quack Mirrors or revive your Fossil Dyna, just to kind of cock block your opponent. Now, different monsters. Now, we're gonna go for the meat and gritty of the freaking spell cards. So first off, you have Ties of the Brethren, and oh god, is this card make the deck so good. So if you don't know what it does, you pay 2,000 life points, target 1 low for a lower monster you control. Special summon from your deck 2 monsters with the same type, attribute, and level as that monster, but with different names from each other and that monster. Other than that monster, from each other and that monster. Well, my bad, I am slurring words. I need to give me some water. I'm starting to get a dry throat here from talking so much from these videos. Also, you cannot special summon a monster the rest of this turn, and you cannot conduct your battle phase turn you activate this card. Perfect first turn card. Easy thing. You can summon Overload or something like Rocket Muse, activate your Pleasure Brethren. Like I say, you have Guardian or you have Wall. Ties of Brothers, summon a Fossil Dyna, like defense mode, and then summon them like Salmon or Guardian. Or you can do Overload. Just like there's a lot of things you can do, and it opens up a lot of plays for the deck as a whole. And you kind of have to play through them to see your hand a lot more faster. So it's a really powerful card for the deck. And if you're not playing this in Roxanne, assuming you're not going to go pure TCG online, I don't know why you're not playing this card. It's freaking amazing. Anyway, we have Regeki, Book of Moon, kind of basic stuff there. Seal of Orichalcos, one of the best cards to play in Roxanne. Pretty much boost up your clock moves up to 2400 attack, and now you have 2400 B6 that can negate shit. That's kind of scary in my opinion. That is kind of scary, I'm not going to freaking lie. Now I do know about Rockfall area, in case anybody's asking. I'm not a fan of the card since it's only by battle. There's a lot of things that can destroy these by card effects. So yeah, if Rockford Area did both battle and by effect, I will be playing it. But Seal does a pretty good job nonetheless. Area 3 Diamond Core on Quantum Mirror, pretty much search out my Quantum Mirrors. And of course, the first one I can banish shit and I don't have to reveal shit, anything because they won't get destroyed because of course effect. So that's always nice. And then Double Duality. Normally in a Rockstone deck, I play 3. But since we are playing Ties of Brotherland, I'd rather see this card a little more than Duality. Because I can get 3 monsters on the board at once. Reverse is just 1. You see the difference there? Sure, it's 2,000 life points, but I get more negations out of this card than I can with this. It comes down to priority, and this is a negation type of deck, so Duality still helps, but free monsters. Anyway, for the traps is really the really big meat ingredient of the deck. 3 Fire Force. Unexpected card is unexpected. So, you have Mirror Force, Wind Force, Storming Mirror Force, you have the Blazing Mirror Force, and you also have the Sandstorm Mirror Force, which is Yugioh and Bosch. When your opponent declares an attack, choose many attack position monsters your opponent controls as possible, and if you do, take damage equal to half the combined original attack of those destroyed monsters, then inflict damage to your opponent equal to the damage you took. So it's sort of a ring of destruction, but gets rid of everything. Everything. And it's not like Storm Mirror Force where it's like, okay, it goes back to your hand. Now, this is a substitute for Storm Mirror Force. If you're playing IRL, I would recommend Storm Mirror Force a lot more. But the reason why I'm playing Blazing Mirror Force over the regular Mirror Force is because it's free damage to the opponent. And if you play a lot of these cards right that dish out damage to you, it won't hurt that much. That's the thing. And it's also a nice surprise factor because no one's seeing Blazing Mirror Force coming. For the traps, you have a warning and 2 notice. My combination of 1 warning, 2 notice works very well for me. 3 Call the Haunted to bring back my Guardians, my Quackumirs, all that good stuff, and get free negations, as well as bringing back my Block Golem for more special summoning shenanigans or Fossil Dino. It's a lot of cool things to Call the Haunted, very good card for the deck. Skill Drain because all the monsters on here are outside of really Fossil Dino and Grand won't get affected by Skill Drain, so that's actually really cool because my other Quackmir monsters, they don't care because they activate on the field, but they resolve off the field. So that's the cool thing about Skill Drain. It doesn't negate like the activation on the field, so that's actually really cool. Bomb Chapeau and Compose because they're good little staples, in my opinion. And then you have the Macrocosmos because it's a good main deck card. You share on a lot of things. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the Rockstone deck profile, and odds are I'm going to make a TCG Rockstone deck profile for the people who want to play with it here right now, which won't contain the notices or the Ties of Brotherland. Even though I feel like this card is auto-stable online for the decks. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile, and I'll see you guys next time. I need some water. Bye.